The Tales of Agrabah update is nearly here, and with it comes some exciting new changes. In today's video, we'll be going over the Tales of Agrabah patch notes, where we'll discuss many of these new changes and some new content coming to the game, including many things we were already aware of thanks to several teaser videos, as well as some new information that's exclusive to this update's patch notes. So with that, let's take a deep dive into everything you need to know about the Tales of Agrabah update. Alright, hello everybody! Update day is tomorrow, and if you're like me, I'm sure you're very excited to get into Tales of Agrabah. So first off, we have the usual Hay Valley Villagers opening statement here. We're just gonna skip over that. Let's dive right into new content. Starting off here, it states a new realm door opens. Travel to the Dream Castle and through the Aladdin realm door to arrive in Agrabah's market inspired by Disney's Aladdin. No big surprise there. We all knew we were getting the Aladdin realm, and we've already seen some teasers of the realm in several videos uploaded by the Dreamlight Valley team. Also very obvious, Aladdin and Jasmine joined the valley. We've pretty much known that was coming along ever since we first saw the roadmap. Now, something I am very excited about, it says through your realm adventures unlock a familiar flying carpet as a companion. And ever since the teaser, I've been really excited about a flying carpet companion. I believe the Tales of Agrabah graphic for this update where the avatar is sitting on the carpet, I believe that's likely to be a companion photo mode pose you'll be able to do with Magic Carpet. I also would love for it to have some kind of effect with the gliding animation, but that remains to be seen. We've never seen any companions actually interact with the way we glide, though I would love for the Magic Carpet to like fly up under our feet whenever we're gliding. I just think that would be really neat, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that because that would be something entirely new to the game. Now, this is something very, very, very interesting within the patch notes here, something we haven't really discussed. It says a variety of quests arrive to introduce you to brand new stealthy gameplay mechanics, crafting your own Dreamlight tapestry glider and a gem stall. A Dreamlight tapestry glider. So maybe Magic Carpet won't work as a glider. Maybe that's what the Dreamlight tapestry is going to be made to do. But what I really want to touch on this topic here is the brand new stealthy gameplay mechanics. This is something we haven't seen in any of the teasers. I don't know how it's going to work, but I am very excited. There's going to be a new type of gameplay added to Dreamlight Valley. As of right now, and if you disagree with me, that's fine, but I feel like a lot of the gameplay can get a bit repetitive. You know, the STARPATH tasks are usually more of the same. The quests are mostly like fetch quests. I do love the dialogue and stories in the quests, but a lot of the puzzle solving and the fetch quests, they just get really, really, really repetitive over time. And I think the devs are aware of that, and that's why we're seeing a new type of gameplay get introduced. And I'm very excited to see how this shakes up the way Dreamlight Valley is played. I hope we see more additions when it comes to the gameplay mechanics, but I think this is one of the best things in the patch notes. Next, for new content, it brings up the new STARPATH. It says kick back and relax in a retreat of your own making with the new Oasis STARPATH. Unlock resort-inspired fashions, furniture, and even a few items for your animal companions. So we've seen a lot of the items from this STARPATH. I do really like the way this one is shaping up. The Oasis theme is really fun, and the items look really good. I mean, we've already seen a lot of the items, like I stated, in some previous video teasers for this update. And now something else that is new in the patch notes, something that wasn't necessarily teased. It states spring into action with a new in-game event and the return of Extravaganza. Search your valley for clovers and eggs, craft and unlock unique rewards, and make Wally's day. So, of course, Extravaganza is not new. That's been around since Dreamlight Valley first released as the primary spring event. And of course, that has also come with these daily and weekly quests for Wally. But what is new here would be the mention of a new in-game event and the mention of clovers. Of course, the eggs here are tied to Extravaganza, but we've never collected clovers in the valley, and I'm excited to see what kind of items we get from collecting these clovers and exactly what this event is going to shape up to be. And I must say, I'm happy they're not just throwing Extravaganza at us again with no additional changes. And of course, as with every patch note, they mention Dreamsnap challenges coming in Tales of Agrabah. No big surprise there. They stated it will help you thaw off that winter chill and kickstart spring. So I think what this means is that we'll likely be seeing a lot of spring spring-themed dream snaps probably pretty early on into the update. Next up, the notes mention some new Scrooge shop items, stating keep an eye on new and returning spring-themed merch in Scrooge McDuck's store. Not a very big surprise there. I mean, each update, they do add some new items to the Scrooge shop, but I do find it very interesting that they are going to be focused on spring-themed items coming to Scrooge's shop. That should be pretty fun. And I mean, if you've been following my channel, I have been working on building this huge Mulan and spring-themed valley build. So I'm really excited to see more spring-themed items, as they will play very well into my current valley theme. And finally, the last thing under new content, it appears we are getting another Moonstone bundled cosmetic item. Now, this was a bit controversial when it first rolled out, and in the patch notes that came out a couple of updates ago, they did mention that they were going to be doing these seasonal Moonstone bundles with items attached to them. We've only seen one of those so far, but it was for a $30 Moonstone bundle. I do hope they drop that down or make the items available for cheaper bundles. And overall, I'm still kind of on the fence about attaching items to these Moonstone bundles, but hey, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. So let's read what it states here. It says, adjusted available Moonstone packs to introduce a new option that includes both Moonstones and a seasonal valley inspired cosmetic item. This pack will be offered for a limited time, and different seasonal cosmetic items may be offered with future updates. So yeah, not super surprised here, because this has been mentioned in the past and we've already seen them do this once before, and they said they were going to do it seasonally, which appears to be maybe every other update or maybe every 3 or so. I mean, I guess it's good that they're not doing these Moonstone bundle packs every update. That would actually irk the heck out of me. So I'm glad it's like not every update, but it does appear they're going to be doing them several times throughout the year. The next category of the patch notes we're going to discuss is going to be improvements to the game. And right at the top of the list here, we have cooking, which is no surprise because there are a lot of really good cooking changes coming with Tales of Agrabah. This portion states, hungry for more. With Tales of Agrabah, we're also improving your cooking experience. Scroll no more. You can now locate any recipe with a new search bar. And the search bar is really fun, but I think I like the tabs a bit more. I mean, I'm glad we'll be able to search for items with a search bar when cooking. I mean, it was really great to see that with the furniture and wardrobe options, but the second one I think I like even more. It's now also easier to find meal requests, be they restaurant orders or quests, with the new sorting tabs. And we've actually seen these sorting tabs in some of the other videos that have released. There's a tab for gifted meals. This tab will change what's highlighted based on what the villagers want each day. There's a tab for quests, and there's a tab for villagers within the restaurant, so you don't have to look around the restaurant to see what everybody wants anymore. Next up, it says, what's that? You want to cook more meals with less hassle? Yes, chef. Queue up a variety of meals for a small Dreamlight cost with an all-new slow cooker. Now, of course, this is the slow cooker that was featured in Tiana's Palace, and it uses Dreamlight instead of Mist, like the auto cookers we unlocked with Eternity Isle. I do really like this. I'm glad we got a slow cooker that's going to work with Dreamlight instead, as it adds a little bit more flexibility to queuing up meals. The last thing under improvements here says, save your rare resources. Recipes with generic requirements will select suitable ingredients, prioritizing the highest quantity of resources available. So I really do like this, as in the past, recipes that call for like any fruit or any vegetable would always default to certain things. Like for me, if I had a recipe that required any vegetable, it would always default to lettuce. But because of that, I've gone out of my way to like get a lot of extra lettuce and some of these other items when I don't really need them. And it's kind of a pain when the game autofills with ingredients you don't have a lot of. So I think this is another very positive change. Having it autofill to things that you have the most of, I think is going to be overall just very beneficial. Next up, we have some UI changes. And here it states, but wait, there's more. Here are some user interface changes that are sure to make life in the valley easier. Inventory items will now display a tag as to where they are from, including the valley and both expansions. Now, this one, I'm not, I feel like that's kind of neat. That's cool, but doesn't really impact me very much. I think the second one is much better. So here it states items will also indicate if they are a villager's favorite gift of the day. So yeah, I really, really like this addition to the user interface, as you will immediately be aware if you're holding anything that counts as a favorite gift for any villager. Now let's move on to other. Here it states, nope, not done yet. More sweet new features. First off, it says not 1, but 4 new floating islands arrive in this update. Peaceful Meadow, Dazzle Beach, Glade of Trust, and the Forgotten Lands. So I know we were all aware of this because we've seen it in the teaser videos, but I was really surprised. I was not expecting them to release all 4 of the additional Main Valley floating islands in the very next update like they are doing here. Very exciting to see. Also under other, it says never miss out on a deal with the option to pin 2 premium shop bundles. They will remain pinned until purchased, or until you decide to swap them for something else. I think this is huge for players, especially if they're limited on moonstones. In the past, if there was an item in the shop that you could not afford, you were just out of luck, and you would just have to wait until it came back around several months or even a year later. So the fact that we're going to be able to pin things is very exciting. Now, with that said, this has come with some questions from the player base, as the recommended tab that was added to the shop in a previous update is no longer featured in the video here. Now, this could simply be because this is a developer profile and they don't have the recommended shop on there, but it could also mean that since they're adding this new pinning method, that they're going to do away with the recommended tab. Personally, I'm not really sure what to think about that. I don't see why they would get rid of the recommended tab just because they're adding this pinning feature, simply because having both the pinning feature and the recommended tab section only serves to help Gameloft generate more Moonstone sales. So I'm not sure why they would get rid of one in favor of the other, but maybe they have, and maybe they have their reasons. We won't really know for sure until the update comes out, but there's no mention of them getting rid of the recommended section in these patch notes. So for now, I'm gonna keep hoping that the recommended tab remains. Another exciting feature we have been aware of is mentioned next. Expand your creativity indoors with new room size customization options. You'll also be able to remove and re-add rooms to secondary houses. Now, I don't think we knew about that second part from the previous videos. The videos Dreamlight Valley has released leading up to this update has revealed that we'll be able to customize the size of our rooms, but I did not see anything about being able to add or remove rooms from our secondary houses. So I found this bit pretty interesting. Now, I do want to say they stated remove/re-add, so I don't think we're going to be able to add more than the basic 3 rooms each premium house has, or the 3 side rooms, I should say. There's 4 rooms in total. There's the primary room, then there's the room on the left, the room on the right, and the room in the back. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to go to 5 or 6 or have an upstairs in our secondary houses. I think what this is saying is that for your secondary houses, you can choose between it having 1 and 4 rooms. But I could be wrong about that, and I would love to be wrong about that because I would love to have extra floors in my secondary homes as well. Next up, it states you've got less mail. This update introduces the option to remove mailboxes from secondary houses. This one's kind of funny to me because was this really a problem for anybody? Was anybody like frustrated with the mailboxes being on the secondary houses? I mean, I like the idea personally because I don't like seeing the little mail icon pop up at every single one of my secondary houses when I do have pending mail. So I like the feature. It's just, I never heard anybody like push for this change. So I just think it's kind of fun and funny. Lastly, this is something that was not mentioned in the teaser videos, but I think it's one of the things I am most excited for. It states wallpapers will now feature the ability to offset the center of their design, allowing for even more flexibility when interior decorating. Now, why is this such a big deal to me? Well, that's quite simple. Many of the wallpapers in this game, for whatever reason, just do not look right on the walls. A lot of wallpapers have like pillars or columns, and in my opinion, they never really sit properly or center properly, which makes it difficult to get good symmetry on some indoor builds and or dream snaps. So being able to offset the way these wallpapers are centered is huge, especially for me because like I said, I find myself often being forced forced to use wallpapers of a solid color because otherwise the symmetry of my build is just kind of thrown out the window. So yeah, very excited to play with this feature. Now that's everything in these patch notes as far as UI changes and new content, but there are top changes and bug fixes here. Usually I do not read through all of these because they're usually pretty specific for players that are facing certain niche issues or bugs. I will have the patch notes linked in the video description if you want to check them out. If you are dealing with a certain bug or issue, you can see if it's been corrected here. But there is one thing I kind of want to point out and have a laugh about. I don't know about you guys, but myself, and I've seen many other creators kind of gripe about this. The rain can be really, really frustrating in Dreamlight Valley, especially if you're trying to submit a dream snap and it starts pouring down. Myself and many others have asked for weather presets, kind of like how we have time presets. You can move the time preset to where it's sunset and you can get that beautiful golden hour lighting, or you can go to nighttime to showcase like the lighting in your builds, whatever you may want to do. But I definitely feel like we could use something like that for weather. Now I get why we can't just make it rain whenever we want, because then that would make the watering can obsolete, especially for early players. But the way I think they could do it is the same way they do the time offsets. It specifically states in the menu that changing the time offsets does not affect the gameplay, it only affects the visual appearance. So a lot of people wanted to see that with weather, and a lot of people have been frustrated with the constant rain, and I find it really funny that they have fixed an issue where rain would not appear. This to me is one of the funniest things in the fixes. I don't know a single person that was complaining about the rain not appearing. Personally, like I said, I do not like the rain in my valley. I wish I could just turn it off whenever it happens, and I've never even experienced the bug where it is not raining when it should be. If anything, I would actually be happy that it was not raining. So this fix is just hilarious to me because I feel like it's a little out of touch with a lot of the players. With that said, I know a lot of people do like the rain. I know they do enjoy it. That's why I am very pro weather presets. That way, if you enjoy the rain, you can have it on. If you want more clouds, you can have it that way. Or if you just want a beautiful clear sky, you can have that as an option as well. Everybody wins if we get weather presets. But as of right now, we have no control over the weather, which can be a big headache when it comes to dream snaps or just photos or content in general. And with that, we've touched on pretty much everything you need to know about the Tales of Agrabah update releasing first thing tomorrow morning. Again, if you want to enjoy the update live and make some friends, drop by the Twitch channel. Link to my channel will be in the video description down below. If you do decide to drop by, I'll be sure to show you around my Mulan/spring themed valley. Of course, it's not finished yet. I've only done about 4 of the biomes so far, so I have a lot more work to do, but it's coming along nicely. If you found today's video helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, please do me a very big favor and press that like button. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the Tales of Agrabah update.